ready to fly. And there's some clouds south of us, but everything is moving south, so that's a good thing. I've got the wings set up. I'm aiming as close as I can to the wind. I think I'm pretty close. A little bit of crosswind. About 8 o'clock. That's good. I'm not going to worry about lights tonight. I'm not going to be staying out too late. Fly about an hour. That should do it. Okay. Let's get everything together, get the seat belts on, check everything out. Seat belts are on. Alright, trims are all the way out. And I'll put them in just a hair. It's a little bit warm out here, about 80 degrees. It's going to cool down fairly quick. We'll probably get in the sky and it'll probably be cold. But we're going to make this about an hour flight. The wind is pretty much dead right now. So that's a good thing. So let's fire it up. And clear prop. I don't really have a plan for tonight on where I'm going to go. I'm just going to stay out of the weather. Get the left brake here. And it looks clear. And the right brake here. It looks clear. And everything looks pretty good. Just check things over here again real quick. And here we go. To fly a couple times around the airport, at least by the runway, in case there's any immediate issues that come up. And once I feel confident that everything's running well, everything's connected well, which all that should have been done during the pre-flight, but you always, at least I do, I like to check things over, and I've always believe that once you take off, if it got you in the air, then you're at least okay, and you should be able to get down with the setup that you had. So we're putting along here about 20 miles an hour. See that smoke coming up from down there. Kind of tells you which way the wind is going. Some pretty houses down here. Very nice area. We're in West Lafayette, Ohio. Newcomers Town is off to my east, or off to the right. Coshocton is off to the west. Straight ahead is one of the oldest forts in Ohio, and it looks like basically when you go by it or fly by it or visit it, it just looks like somebody built a small, I don't know, 14 by 20 storage shed. Is about the size of it, but it's one of the first forts. And I don't know the history very well, but I went there years ago on my four-wheeler. We used to take four-wheelers and go riding around. Tuscarora River, straight ahead. But the wing is definitely a big boat, but it definitely flies well for what I'm using it for. I'd like to pick up a little bit more speed, and maybe after a year or two, I might pick up something a little bit faster. Boy, up here at 1,400 feet, it just seems like we're just sitting here. But I'm doing 19 miles an hour, but it's a long way down there, and this thing is just going to sit up here and float up here. The approach that would head me more into the wind has some power lines that you have to kind of go over, and I'm not all about going over them, but I can do a short landing from another direction, but I think we're going to be okay here. 20 miles an hour, just slowly cruising down. Some of you may remember that I had a wingman that used to fly with me, Christian. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I really enjoy flying with somebody else. It just makes the flight so much more enjoyable, and you can share experiences with them and compare. We both have the same setup, except that he has a larger wing, and so we can both share, you know, experience. And if something breaks or something happens, or we tune something up, or if something starts wearing out, we can, you know, look at each other's. Okay, we're over them. Okay, we're down, and we don't have too far to walk. Not bad. Alright, so when I land, I normally will stow my A's, or my brakes, I'm sorry. I'll stow my brakes, make sure I get them out of the way. As I land it, I will lift up on one hand or the other and let the wing try to fly to one side. And sometimes I'll pull down on the bottom and push up on the top, or whatever it takes to get it to land halfway decent. So, and normally after I do that, I'll make sure my fly sky high is recorded and it's off, and I will set my power or my throttle off to the side and undo my seat belt. Get the lines out of my way. Step up, making sure that my trike doesn't lean back too much. And I'll lean it back. And once it's leaned back, I will pick up my throttle and put it into the seat so I don't mess it up. Okay, and then I'll just look things over and see how things are looking okay. Everything looks okay. And the way I pull my wing in is I'll pull on the left side or whatever side to just to get the line down on the ground, and then I'll pull this other side. I'll disconnect the A there, and I'll pull this on over. And I used to have the strobe right up here, and it would catch the lines, and I got rid of that and put the strobe down here, and I don't know if you can see it, but so I'll get the wing pulled over here, and I'll grab the tip. And then I'll pull the tip on back and back over this way. And then I'll start working the wing back out over here to get it ready to pack it up and put it away. And I'll usually want to get my wing and put it away fairly quick so that it's damp out here, and I don't want it to get wet, so I'll try to get it put away as fast as possible. And if I had my battery connected, I would have turned my strobe on in case there were any aircraft coming in the area. They would see me out here in the runway, but I think we're okay with that. So, I will disconnect here, and I will set this down here, taking care of everything, not to tangle anything up. Disconnect this and just set it here. And what I'll normally do is I'll take my trike, ride it back over to there, and pick up my wing bag, and I'll run it over there, plus I'll run it out of fuel. So we'll go ahead and crank it back up, and I'll put my seatbelt on just in case anything possibly can happen. If it takes off or someone tries to rev up and go, I just want to be safe, make sure that I don't blow my wing all over. So get everything hooked up. All right, clear prop to the trailer and the truck. So I expand this all the way out, and I always put the bag that holds the brakes and the boy, I've lost the word for what I want to call this. Everybody will let me know, I'm sure. Anyway, and I'll make sure the trims are all the way out or in. Normally out. I'll put this together, and then I'll just work it in. And I do what is normally known as the clamshell look, or the clamshell. And then I'll set it there. And I'm lousy at this part here. This is, I always forget how I'm supposed to do this, but I'll get it. I'll edit this out so it doesn't look as bad as it is. But there's a trick to it. So I usually do it like that, and then I'll take it over to the bag. I'll set it in the bag, stow these away, flip it over, making sure it's in the bag, and then I gather it up. I work from the side, and I gather all this up. I don't know if this is coming out on the video or not, and then I squeeze it down. And then I'll pull this up and around. Usually to the left is the tightener right here. And I'll start tightening down on it. And I'll stuff everything in the bag. nice and stuffed. Put the string or the line in there. Tighten, hook this up. And that is it. And then I had gone back here to the truck. Well, that was a good flight. I don't know how long it was. Looking at Fly Sky, it looks like probably, what do we got here? Let's see, Fly Book. It wasn't a long one, but I was glad to get out. It was 43 minutes, and so that was good. 43 minutes, made it on the ground before sundown, and didn't have to use the strobes. Everything went well. Got to use my selfie stick, tried out, did some commentary, and so I'm going to get home before it gets dark, and before it gets darker, and I don't run into any deer like I did not so long ago. I think I've said that a couple times, and I'll tell you, I drive a lot slower than I used to. So hey, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I hope that it helps some of those folks out there with trikes, and especially those that have the same equipment I have, and even those without. I know triking isn't the excitement of paramotor, paragliding. I know foot launching, the Tucker Gotts out there, and all the others that fly foot launching do a great job in aerobatics. And but for us old folks, I enjoy the trike, and it's been really adventurous and very enjoyable. So subscribe, and hey, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next flight.